Hello, Jazmin.
Hello, Ugo.
Hello, everyone listening. There we go. I have a script. I have a little script right here,
Nice.
but my handwriting is trash, so it's gonna take a while. It's gonna be pretty clunky. So, welcome to Watcheando movies, right?
Yep.
Yep. I think I'm gonna do this on the top of every podcast, which is to explain the what,
Pod?
the idea behind this.
Okay.
So, Jasmine, you used to like
Yes.
movies
Yes.
back in 2010.
Yeah. A long time ago.
2011, 2012. And I love movies for most of my life. Right after you stop liking movies.
Yeah.
Now you don't really like movies. You don't really care about them.
Nope.
But you're also depressed right now. Super depressed.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing anything.
Especially this week. Oh my god. Especially today. Oh my god. Oh my god. You have no idea how I'm just.
So I decided
Ready.
to give you something to do,
Yeah.
Show you a movie every week and see if maybe we could find that love of film again. Maybe give some purpose to your life, Maybe you'll start wanting to make them again. You never
Make
wanted to
them.
make them again. But maybe make them, period,
Poop them out
Yeah, exactly.
of my heart.
With that being said, what movie are we watching today?
Inside Llewyn Davis.
Explain the cat.
What's its name?
I don't know. He snuck out
Do you
the
think
door.
you're staying here tonight?
Leaving. Oh. I was hoping to. So, I can't stay here tonight.
If I had wings, like Noah's dove.
Spoilers, of course. Inside Llewyn Davis is written and directed by Joel and Ethan Coen, also known as the Coen brothers. It stars Oscar Isaac, Carey Mulligan, Justin Timberlake, Adam Driver, and John Goodman, among others. This movie premiered at the 2013 Cannes Film Festival. You know what that is?
Nope.
It's a French film. It's in France. And it's the top film festival in the world. And that's where Parasite premiered recently. It won the Palme d'Or. Inside Llewyn Davis won the Grand Prix, which is the second best award of the whole film festival. It was released in the United States on December 6th, 2013. And it was the follow-up film to True Grit, which you saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, same director, same writers. It grossed $32.9 million on a budget of $11 million, which is, pretty good. But it's one of the lowest grossing Coen Brothers films. It was nominated for Best Cinematography, Best Sound Mixing at the Oscars. It was nominated for Best Motion Picture Musical or Comedy at the Golden Globes. Either for comedy or musical, who knows? Would you classify this as a musical?
No.
Then let's say it was a comedy then.
I mean, actually, I forgot there's like lots of singing. It's not a traditional musical, but it has music.
Yeah.
So,
But like, is Bohemian Rhapsody a musical?
no. Like, I feel like musicals
Or like La La
carry,
Land, right?
yeah, where like the plot moves forward as through the musical, right? It's like, and these ones are there's just songs intermixed in the movie.
Yeah. It was also nominated for Best Leading Actor in a Comedy or Musical for Oscar Isaac. And Best Original Song at the Golden Globes for Please, Mr. Kennedy.
That's one.
It has a 92% Rotten Tomato score, a 74% audience score. It's a big discrepancy right there. The consensus is smart, funny, and profoundly melancholy. Inside Llewyn Davis finds the Coen brothers in fine form. It was added to the Criterion Collection in 2016, which, I told you adds important movies they think are important. So, and right, here's the synopsis real quick. It's a short one because, not much of a plot. In 1961, New York City, folk singer Llewyn Davis is at a crossroads. Guitar in hand, he struggles against seemingly insurmountable obstacles to make a name for himself in the music world. Excuse me. But so far, success remains elusive, relying on the kindness of both friends and strangers. This is why I shouldn't drink soda and eat popcorn right before. Llewyn embarks on an odyssey that takes him from the streets of Greenwich Village to a Chicago club where awaits a music mogul who could give him the big break that he desperately needs. Well, that's, certainly a synopsis.
Yeah.
I don't think it's completely accurate to what the movie is. But on a personal level, I think this was like the first or second Coen Brothers movie I ever saw. It was the second Blu-ray I ever owned. Mm-hmm. I gave you the Blu-ray, and that's why it's like in that condition.
Yeah.
Because it's old. I bought it when I was 16. With the little money I had. It was $10. The Criterion was out at that point, but the Criterion cost $30. And so,
Yes.
can't afford that. First time I ever saw Oscar Isaac and Adam Driver. Yeah, so I knew. I don't know if they were cast in Star Wars at this point. Probably, but
Oh shoot! I did not make that connection.
that they're
at all.
both in Star Wars.
Yeah.
They only have one scene together in Star Wars anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah. So,
I mean, they only have. Well, I guess they have like 2-3 scenes in this movie, right?
yeah. Yeah. So I knew Adam Driver before most people did. That's cool. Oscar Isaac as well. So yeah. That's cool.
Sounds good.
All right. So, what were your expectations, if you had any, about this movie, Jazmin?
I did not know what this movie is about.
At all? You never not even by the cover or anything?
No.
No?
I mean, I guess there's music. So he's playing a guitar or something. I wasn't sure. I didn't even know when, like, the era or whatever. I didn't really have any expectations going into this movie.
Why? Well, what were your gut reactions after watching this?
Man. It was hard to watch.
Why? Why was it hard to watch?
I just don't think it was a movie for me.
You thought it was boring?
Yeah. It's fine. I don't think I would rewatch it ever, though.
Never. So
I think if I had seen this at a different time in my life, maybe I would have enjoyed it. I just
what
could
time in
not.
your life then?
Maybe like when it came out. Because, look, BoJack Horseman is very reminiscent of this.
Because it's depressing?
It's depressing, and there's a character who's not supposed to be the most sympathetic character, but you're still sympathetic to his plight, even though he's kind of a jerk.
Asshole? Yeah.
And that's the same with BoJack. I feel like he's a very lovable character in spite of being not lovable at all. And it's the same with Llewyn Davis. He's not as bad as BoJack, but he's still not.
I feel like he's trying to be a good person most of the time anyway.
I mean, I feel like in somewhat, I feel like I saw that in BoJack too, and I really enjoyed watching BoJack. But then after a while, I was just like, this is too depressing.
Yeah.
So
I stopped watching BoJack.
Yeah. So then, as I saw where this movie was going, I was like, okay, I know where it's ending.
And then did it end like that?
It ended depressing. Like it ended the way it began.
Yeah. Just like
Literally.
a folk song.
Yeah.
So do you want to go more into this is your review time?
Sure.
You didn't write one this time, but did you watch the reviews I sent you, by the way?
Oh yeah, I agreed with the first video more.
What did I? What
Well,
was
actually,
it?
I don't know if it's like,
Was that the old guy?
yeah, the old guy.
Mark Kermode is.
Because everybody else was like, oh, this is such a good movie, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, it's a good movie, but
I didn't like it that much.
yeah, I just feel like this movie is not supposed to have like closure. I feel like that's not the point they're trying to make at all.
No.
It's not. Then that's the part of the movie. It's not supposed to have closure because sometimes life is just sad, and it's sad, and that's that. I'm just like, yeah. I just don't. I don't know if I want to watch this right now. I got really depressed afterward. Oh, I've already been kind of.
Every time I watch this, I do get into like a really negative
Like a
headspace.
rat.
I'm just like, oh shit. Following your dreams doesn't always turn out good.
I also think most people think they're a better person than they actually are.
Jesus.
I think most people have like a decent opinion of themselves, but in reality, we're probably just like Oscar Isaac. We're an asshole in someone's eyes.
And most people's eyes.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a very depressing but honest kind of look at how movies oftentimes portray the protagonist as like this hero, this underdog who prevails. That's not the average Joe. Llewyn Davis is the average Joe where they don't get what they want. They mess
Yeah.
up constantly.
And not even that. He's actually like pretty talented. He's very talented, and he's still not
Yeah.
making it.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. When I first watched this, I don't think I was depressed because I don't think I quite understood. Well, I was 13,
Yeah.
14, so I was like, I didn't know much about life to start with. But yeah, it is pretty depressing to watch now that I'm older and my bones hurt and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, depressing stuff, did
Yeah.
you like, was there anything, because you said it was boring?
It's not okay. It's not boring per se. It is a very slow movie, and not much happens. But
It's a lot of going.
that's kind of
Yeah.
that's also kind of fine, you know, because that's a very realistic depiction of life. And I think I don't remember who or the reviews sent me like the word meandering. I was like, yeah, that's a great word. This guy's just kind of like around and around and around and not really going anywhere. If anything, he's going back.
Yeah.
Right. There's this
yeah.
like perceived sense that he's moving forward when in actuality he's
not moving at all.
he's not moving at all. If anything, he's moving
Back,
and farther away from his dreams.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm just gonna go back to the military.
Yeah. And that it doesn't even work out, and he is penniless by the end. Yeah.
Oof. I forgot. I haven't watched this since 2016, so I thought it had more of a plot because I knew Django was more of a vignette sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I was gonna pick a movie that was more straightforward. But then when I watched it again, I'm like, oh shit, that's not what this movie is at all.
No, not at all. This movie literally just is like circular, right?
Yeah.
Which I feel like is kind of a lot of people feel that way, right? When they're kind of lost, they just feel like they are going in circles and circles, and I think that's where I feel like too.
Yeah, and they're going like day to day, but you know they just mess up a lot.
Yep.
Just like, oh god.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, well, this is a depressing episode. I guess it is a depressing movie, though.
It's a very depressing movie. Which is fine if you're in the mood to feel sad, but I think that might be a toxic trait. Isn't it?
If you want to feel sad,
If you're like sad and you want to feel more sad, so you watch sad things or listen to sad music.
that's what I did 3 years ago when I was very depressed my first year of college. So that's what I did. I was watching stuff like Mr. Robot and just like pom pom, and I felt like it wasn't making me sadder. I felt like I was already sad enough to the point where watching something sad like was just like doing nothing for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like barely like making a dent into my sadness.
Yeah, you were just relishing in the sadness.
Yeah, it was just like, yeah, you know, it's good.
This is good. I'm just gonna marinate more in this.
Yeah, basically, actually, that was my thought.
Yeah.
So, anyways, what was your favorite scene of the movie, if you had one? You know.
I'm trying to think of a good scene. Gosh, did I pay attention to this movie at all? I don't know if I had a favorite. This is a hard one. I don't know if I had a favorite scene because it was just kind of. This is also the thing, like the color palette's very muted, and I guess we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
So everything kind of just blends together, and since stuff doesn't really happen, like it's not like in big events, right? It's kind of just lives it each day by day.
Mm.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think I have one.
Well, I'll talk one, and maybe you can find one.
Okay, give me some time.
My favorite scene is, "Please, Mr. Kennedy."
Yeah.
I don't wanna go. Don't shoot me in the outer space. Oh, please, Mr. Kennedy. I don't wanna go. Don't shoot me in the outer space. I sweat when they stuff me in the pressure.
It's just funny. Yeah, because Adam Driver's out there, like they're practicing, and he's just going, "Oh,
Yeah.
oh." That's a great way to like be introduced to Adam Driver, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Justin Timberlake, that's his like second, like only other scene in
He
the
has
movie.
like 3 scenes maybe.
Yeah, I think maybe 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's yeah, my favorite scene. Yeah, it's because it's the funniest, I'd say. Yeah.
You know, okay, I'm gonna pick one of the more depressing ones. Right, when he goes back to his like friends, where like one of the like the professor guy, I don't remember what his name was.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, did you record this Mr. Kennedy
Play the
song?"
suppressing of that record, please, Mr. Kennedy. It was hysterical.
So funny. That's gonna be a hit, man. Royalties on that? Whoa, Nelly.
I wish I was in your business. I mean, one hit could fix you up.
Yeah.
You can just see his like,
Eyes dying. 'Cause
yeah, and I was like,
Oh.
yeah,
So he,
you idiot.
well, he took the money now because he needed to pay for an abortion.
Yeah,
Um,
that was great.
what do you think about that character, Janine?
Jean, was very unlikable.
You think so?
I think so.
You think she was in the wrong for like calling him an asshole all the time?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him. It's not like he
He's not like
forced her to sleep with him.
That's true. She's very promiscuous.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
like, why is she so mad? It's not like she did it too.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake was cucked.
Yeah.
That's
You
also go on.
Have you seen The Bad Teacher? He
Is that with Maggie Gyllenhaal?
No, with Cameron Diaz.
Oh, Bad Teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he plays a similar character in that one.
Justin Timberlake?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is in it, right?
Yeah.
He's like the one that like dry humps her until
Yeah. And you guys got a similar vibe.
I think he maybe can only act that way or like the guy in The Social Network.
Yeah,
I think those are just his two modes of acting, man.
maybe.
It's not like he's a trained actor anyway.
No. So I mean, he does it like sporadically anyway.
Yeah.
So what does it matter?
Yeah, he's not known for his acting.
No,
I think he might have been nominated though for The Social Network
maybe. Was he?
for supporting.
No, wasn't that Andrew Garfield?
Maybe, but I thought he was.
Or was it? I don't remember. It could have been. I don't know.
Well, that's another one of my favorite scenes where Carrie Mulligan is like sitting in the bench with him, and then she's all like, "You should wear a condom on condom, and then wrap it in electrical tape."
Yeah.
It's funny, man. Yeah. Least favorite scene. All
Least
of it.
favorite? Oh, I hate it when he left the cat inside the car. I was like, what a
What a
douchebag.
oh.
Oh my
But you can
God.
tell that he's like.
He's torn. He should just let the cat out in the wild. Like, he could have.
Well, he eventually got out, right?
That's the assumption, right? I
Yeah,
feel like that's
then
a
he
very.
hits him with
Do
a
we
car.
even know if it's the same cat? Why is this cat? Wait, honestly, I feel like I should get. After. Oh, you know what? I was like, I should get a cat. I feel like sad people have cats because cats are kind of more mellow than dogs. And I feel like dogs, if you're sad, you're like, please, I know you're super happy and energetic, but calm down. And cats are just like, yeah, let's be depressed together.
Cats don't care about you, Jazmin.
That's good.
Yeah.
They're very aloof,
Yeah.
apathetic.
Well, poor cat.
I don't know.
thing.
Maybe they're nice.
Do you
I
think
don't
he should have just taken the cat with him?
know. He should have just had that. He should have just adopted that one cat he found. That stray.
Yeah.
That'd have been a beautiful ending. Him and that cat just being alone and miserable.
Yeah. But it's probably dead.
He probably killed it.
Yeah.
Poor cat. Don't worry, they have 9 lives. So that's why it appeared. I thought something. I don't know, because the cat kept appearing, right? So I was like, this a reference to like cats having 9 lives or something?
What do you mean
Is it-
cat kept appearing?
Well, like there's like a cat constant in like with Llewyn, right? There's like
Yeah,
always
but that's the professor's cat.
no, but then there's that other cat he found that wasn't
Oh,
the
yeah,
professor's
yeah,
cat,
yeah,
right? And then there's
yeah.
that
And then-
poster with the
that's,
cat.
There's only 2 cats. Well, the poster with the cat, yeah. The
There's
Disney
like
movie,
there's lots
right?
of reference with cats,
Yeah.
and I was like,
That's a
okay,
metaphor, I'm sure.
about being lonely.
Or maybe being like, it's because
On a
he's homeless, maybe, you know?
Yeah,
Like he is a stray.
Cat.
He's on a journey. Yes. He's on a journey to Chicago, right?
yeah, and then
Yeah.
he died. Yeah, he got hit, and then he died. Oh, he did get hit actually.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
He-
Oh, shit.
he
Oh,
got beat
shit.
up.
Jazmin. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
You're making good points here.
I know.
The cat is Llewyn Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you heard it here first. I think this is the first analysis of the cat inside Llewyn Davis.
I've heard about like what does the cat do, and I was like, he is the cat. But no, yeah, because like at the end of the movie, he gets beat up by Bob
But-
Dylan or whoever. I didn't even
No, it
know
wasn't
that.
Bob Dylan.
Who was it?
It was the guy. Okay. So at the end. Okay, let me back up a little bit.
No.
So his Gene is all like, go play at the Gaslight. The New York Times is gonna be there. He plays at it. He's depressed, and then this other guy goes on stage, and then it's Bob Dylan, and Bob Dylan got discovered at a club like that by the New York Times. So it wasn't his turn. Like, it wasn't Oscar Isaac's turn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so the night before he was like yelling at this
Some
woman,
lady, yeah.
to like take off her panties or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the husband was the one that like beat him
Oh, okay.
up. He's like, "What's wrong with you yelling that stuff?" He's like, "It's not the opera, man."
Yeah.
Yeah. At least he knows when he's being an asshole, because like he came up the next day and he's like, "Sorry, I was just an asshole."
Yeah. That doesn't make it better. I mean, that's. See, I feel like that's why I feel like BoJack Horseman. You'd really like this movie, I think, because they're very similar characters in that way, where they do bad things but they're what's the word, morally conscious, so they know when they messed up.
Well, it's not a cartoon, right? So it does kind of feel like a fake world at some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with in the beginning where that veteran is staying with them.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that was just coming back. I honestly feel like hitchhiking was very common back then, and then serial killers ruined that for everyone.
Let's break down the movie stuff here. Let's talk about the writing in this movie.
The writing was it was a very slow paced movie. Like, not much happens, as we've mentioned, right?
Yeah.
But it's fine, because I feel like that's what they were going for. I feel like not a whole lot was supposed to happen, but seemingly nothing happened, but you're seeing this guy's world slowly begin to crumble, right?
Yeah, downward spiral.
Yeah. So, and I think that's a lot of times how people kind of see it when they're going through that situation, how things are just maybe either slow motion or it's just going super fast, right? You're watching your life fall apart and you can't do anything about it, and it just keeps going. So I feel like even though it's slow paced, I feel like it works for this kind of movie, because I feel like it's a sad movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like you kind of linger in that sadness. I'm just kidding.
So the structure of it, we discussed what you said is like a circle.
Yeah.
I know there's a mention of it in the dialogue when, he's making songs and he's like, "That's a folk song, folks. You might have heard it. But that's what they say about folk songs, is that they're never new and they never get old." Yeah.
I did not know that about.
Yeah. And apparently folk songs at the end. Folk songs end at the start. Folk songs start at the end. One of those things. Anyways, I read somewhere that the Coen brothers decided to make this movie because they sort of had an easy journey into filmmaking, and they've never had anyone go like, "Hey, you can't do that." So they decided to write something about a guy that didn't make it, and how their life would be probably if they didn't. They weren't allowed that.
Oh man, that's a very sad thing to think of.
Yeah, well, maybe not sad when you're like.
True.
Yeah.
I guess you don't feel it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they're like, H.P. Lovecraft, who died.
Poreless, penniless.
Poreless would have been good. Penniless, no recognition. Same with Vincent Van Gogh, right? Or Gough. I don't know how you say that.
Yeah, Vincent Van Gogh. I saw Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in an episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah, I've seen.
You saw Doctor Who?
I've seen that clip.
You
Sorry,
that clip?
don't get too.
It gets recommended on YouTube a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad. Like, damn! Imagine you die and you're like, I'm a piece of crap.
Everyone just goes,
God.
"Man, you're." Everyone just goes, "You're a terrible painter, man."
You should just die.
Yeah. You're like, "Fine." Oh my God, his paintings are so beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so depressing.
Yeah.
It's better dying. Well, imagine that'd have been a wild ending if like somebody discovers Llewyn David's. They're like, "Oh my gosh, this guy's awesome."
Yeah. It's not gonna didn't happen. Well, he was offered at the end. No, not
to be in a trio.
To be in a trio, and then he's. By the way, Oscar Isaac is Latino, but I forgot to say that. We would pronounce his name Oscar Isaac. That's his name. Oh
man, oof, that does not roll off the tongue the same way as Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac Hernandez something Estrada. There we go. That's his name.
He's what, Peruvian? No.
He's a half Guatemalan, half a Cuban. Yeah.
Interesting. He's thick,
Yeah.
right?
He's got a
thick.
nice hips, you know.
He tiene pompis.
Yeah. He's got an ass. That's what she just said.
You don't need to translate this.
He talks a lot about that in Star Wars. He's like a pilot.
Yeah.
He's like his ethnic hips don't fit there, you know,
Mm,
stuff like that. Like they're very tight.
sounds good.
Yeah. What the fuck was this? Oh, okay. So in that scene, he's all like, shave your beard down to a goatee
Yeah. Don't
and
say
stay
anything.
out of the sun.
Oh, something like that. Yeah.
And then when he's in the car with John Goodman goes, "Hey, what's your name? Pablo?" And I don't know if that was written in mind or if they
Yeah.
thought about that stuff after they cast a Latino.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's funny stuff.
And he's like born and raised New Yorker, right?
No, he's raised in Florida.
Was he?
Yeah,
Oh, he has a really
good New York accent.
yeah.
It's also like to the time as well, though.
Yeah.
Nobody talks like that anymore in New York, I don't think.
Probably some parts, but
Like the older people, you mean?
Oh, so this is the thing too, right? For the setting, I suppose. I don't know if you're gonna delve into that or what we were talking about writing, right?
Yeah, that's part of it, I guess.
I don't know, but
It's all part of it. It's all together. It's
I
all
just feel
mixed.
like obviously New York is very heavily romanticized in everything. I'm like,
Except the
know.
Joker
oh yeah, well,
and
yeah.
Taxi Driver and Raging Bull and anything from the 70s. There you go.
Interesting. It's fine. It's great during like Christmas and maybe like people who are like New Yorkers like, ugh, I hate New York during Christmas. It's too many.
I think
tourists.
I think New Yorkers hate Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the best time to go because the trash does not smell at all.
Because they spray paint it with like mistletoe or something.
No, because it's cold. Because then in the hot New York heat, you can just smell the trash as it's rotting away. Not always, just sometimes.
Yeah. Sounds like a great city.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I were to like see like some better parts of New York, I'd appreciate it more. But
What are you going to say about the setting?
oh, I just feel like everything like music and like it's where people like go to find their dreams and like you're super creative and this is where dreams are born or whatever that one song is about.
If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
And I'm just like, I mean, maybe, probably. I mean, I feel like that's the reason people go to LA or New York, right? Because that's just where they have access.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I'm so over New York. Just kidding.
And here they show it like that or what?
I don't know if it's, I feel like in a way it's like, it seems almost like, what was it? Greenwood?
Greenwich Village.
Yeah, it's very thin, like a very, what's the word?
It's a shitty place.
Now or back then?
Well, in the movie, I don't know if it's a real place.
I feel like they'd almost picture like people are just like welcoming, like, oh yeah, you can just take a nap, take a sleep.
in the couch.
Yeah.
That's how shit was in the 60s until that Manson family murdered Sharon Tate.
Until murderers. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
murderers ruined everything. Nobody hitchhikes anymore. You
Nobody
see a hitchhiker, you're like, bye.
Yeah,
Right?
you can't go up to a bunch of hippies and be like, "Hey, do you have any acid dip cigarettes?" You know?
Nope, but nobody got those anymore.
No.
They just have crystals now, or I don't know.
Meth?
What? No, like crystals.
Like Marianne Williamson,
What? Who?
like the New Age stuff.
Oh yes.
Anyways,
Okay.
yeah.
Next.
So it's like a shitty thing.
What?
Looks shitty.
The movie?
No, the setting.
No, it's fine. I don't. If honestly, if it wasn't because it was like 1961 Gaslight,
You wouldn't be
don't-
able to tell the difference.
I don't necessarily know if I would have been able to tell.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, if I would have seen his sister, I was like, okay, yes,
Oh, because she's like styled in that.
yes.
Yeah.
Everybody else is kind of very hipster.
Like hipster, like people look like
Yeah.
that now, especially back then in 2013. Yeah. So yeah, honestly, I think I found out it was in the 60s towards the end. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Just because I saw the beginning, I was like, okay, yeah. Thanks for telling me. But honestly, thanks for
Yeah.
telling me because I would not.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either.
I would not have known.
Yeah.
And I would have seen his sister and had not. If I had missed that beginning part, I probably would just like, maybe she just likes vintage stuff. I don't know.
Let's talk about the acting.
It was sad.
The
So I
acting was sad.
He seemed very tired.
This is like your first movie that you haven't, first non-Star Wars movie
Yeah.
you've seen Oscar Isaac in.
It was good.
Yeah.
He seemed very sad and tired. Not necessarily sad, but like he seemed very tired and like this. You can just see this heaviness. Like, it was good. I liked it.
What about Carrie Mulligan?
She was a bitch. It was great. Can I say that about another woman? I don't know. It was great.
A lot of people don't like her, by the way. Like the actor.
I've
I've
only known her from Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, is she in that?
She was Kitty.
I don't know what that means.
She's British.
Okay. Oh, she is British.
She's
She is
British.
A lot of people don't like her. I think she's like a privileged. She grew up privileged. And then like, apparently like really easy for her to get into acting.
Mm.
So I think that's probably why a lot of people don't like her. But she's great. I think she's fantastic.
I've seen her. Well, not seen her, but I know she's like in an education, and she got a lot of press or recognition.
She got an Oscar nom.
Yeah, for that role.
Yeah.
And then she also did she did Daisy from The Great Gatsby.
But they compared her during an education. They compared her to Audrey Hepburn.
Okay.
A lot. That's what they do a lot for like young. It's not anymore. That was Harvey Weinstein shit. Like back then, like they did the same for Gwyneth Paltrow.
Okay.
And he's not here anymore, so that culture isn't like. Maybe it's still a little here, but not much. What the fuck? What? I lost my train of thought. Carrie Mulligan.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. She was the new it girl. Like
for a
Audrey
while.
Hepburn. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Jennifer Lawrence probably the last one out of.
Yeah, I don't think there's been like an it girl. If anything, there's an it boy, and I'd say that's
Timothy Chalamet.
That's Tiffany. Yeah, I was gonna say Tiffany.
Tiffany Chalamet.
He's the it boy.
Maybe Saoirse Ronan, but like
nah.
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein isn't around anymore. So
Yeah.
I
feel like they're the main two.
I saw her in a movie called Mudbound, Carrie Mulligan,
Mm-hmm.
which was great. And I was like, oh, why do people hate her? It's like when people are like, God, I hate Anne Hathaway.
Like literally the only second. Anne Hathaway seems like a normal-ish person.
She really seems lovely, you know?
You know, I feel like that's kind of where Jennifer Lawrence could have gone.
People were like, man, I hate her.
Yeah, but then something happened in her trajectory.
She stopped acting for a little bit.
Because I don't know what happened with her. I don't know. People like, I feel like she was very close to being like the sweetheart like Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
Well,
Anne Hathaway also stepped away for a little bit.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So I must have been too young to notice it, probably.
It was like 2012.
Yeah.
But Jennifer Lawrence, she did this, the lie detector testing on YouTube.
Yeah.
Where they were like, "Are you nervous?" She's like, "Yeah." "Why are you nervous?" "Because I'm afraid people hate me."
Yeah.
And then like, who hates you? You know, well, why do you think that? Because of the internet. And I was like, "Oh, poor baby."
Yeah.
Like she's a millionaire, but like still a person.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, those are the main ones that say, right?
Basically, honestly,
But
it's mainly just Oscar Isaac.
Yeah. Justin Timberlake, again, we talked about him already. He does the whole cuck thing that he does, which is great. I think it's the second movie I ever saw. No, I see him in a lot of movies, man.
That time when
Friends
he
with
did.
Benefits.
Oh yeah, he did do Friends with Benefits.
Yeah. And what was that? Once Upon a Time? No, Time?
Something about time. Something with time with them where they had like to buy.
On the wrist,
that was
right?
like their currency.
Yeah.
That was currency or whatever.
Fucking stupid ass movie. Adam Driver, also small part. Great.
John Goodman.
John Goodman is in it, and he's this is before he lost 100 pounds.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, it's really good for him because he plays a heroin addict or something.
Yeah. And he just left him there too. I was more concerned that he left the cat there.
Yeah.
And not, like,
By the way, the assistant, fuck, I can't remember his name, but he was in a movie called Tron Legacy.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I saw him and I was like, where have I seen that face before?
And he looks super young in Tron Legacy. This is only 3 years after that.
Yeah, because I was like, I could not recognize him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've seen this guy somewhere.
He's also in Mudbound.
Oh,
He has sex with Carrie Mulligan, actually.
interesting. What a small world.
Yeah. And that was only like 4 years later.
That's actually quite a bit of a time.
Yeah. It's not like they ever met though.
No, probably not.
No. Were you shocked when John Goodman came out of the bathroom like, and he had the whole hose on his thing?
The hose?
The hose right here. Like he had a little
Oh.
balloon or whatever it was.
I did
strapped.
not see
That's what
that.
heroin addicts do. Where
I just saw him foaming in the mouth and like seizing, and I didn't notice the tourniquet thing he did.
Yeah, were you shocked about that? Were you expecting like, he's probably like doing drugs every time he goes to the bathroom?
I mean, I kind of, when he was in the diner and he was kind of like, ah, you know, I kind of assumed he was
on drugs.
on drugs.
Yeah.
So I guess it wasn't that surprising when he like fell flat on his face.
And then the Tron guy just like, nah, he all right.
He just picks him up.
Yeah. Grab his stick.
What a time to be alive in the 60s.
Yeah.
Everybody smokes. Does
Everywhere,
drugs.
man.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac singing and smoking at the same time.
Yeah. There's another thing he was doing. I don't remember. I don't know. But yeah. It was like someplace, and I was like, how can you be doing that there? I don't remember. Oh, like when they're in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
when he's
Oh,
singing. Yeah. There's a funny scene with cigarettes where Oscar Isaac to the Tron guy like can't bum a cigarette and he goes, I'm out. And then the next scene he's just smoking a cigarette. It's funny. It's a comedy, it's a comedy.
That's what I read. That
Yeah,
it
that's
was
what you
a
read.
comedy. I was like, maybe.
What's my next on my list? Let's do music.
Music, okay.
What did you think about the music? Only one of these songs was original.
I would say that I'm somebody who likes folk music.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So yeah, that was fine.
Actually, it's because of this movie that I like folk music. I had no idea what folk music was.
Really?
I was 14 when I saw it, so
I remember I liked folk music back when I guess it kind of became popular. About that
about
time.
this time, yeah.
And everybody's like,
it's because of the hipster
you're such
thing.
a hipster. And I was like, what? I'm not a hipster. Don't be mean to me. I thought that was a bad word. I'm just kidding.
What year was that?
I don't know. When was it? I was still in high school.
Ah,
I think
I don't
that's when the hipster stuff came out.
yeah, but like,
when was it?
it was still
like
like
8 years ago?
it hadn't taken over the whole thing, I think.
Yeah. And you would always call me a hipster. And I was like, I'm not a hipster.
Who? Me?
Yeah, you and Itza. And I was like, I don't know.
Oof.
You guys are talking about.
I don't remember that time in my life.
Yeah, you guys were mean to me. Just
A
kidding.
long time ago, man. Long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how I found out about the Beatles?
How?
I put on YouTube hipster music and then their song came up.
What? How did I find out about the Beatles? I was in middle school.
Yeah.
And I think I just thought I was a social justice warrior when I was 10 years old or something, and a feminist.
You thought you were?
Yeah.
And now you are?
Now I don't know what I am. I'm too apathetic towards,
Politics?
yeah.
Don't worry, we're going to turn our other podcast
Hey.
into a politics podcast.
Nah. That seems more work than this.
Nah. It's actually, I say it's easier because you don't have to watch anything.
What? Sounds appealing.
Yeah, I like the songs a lot. Please, Mr. Kennedy's there on the original song. And it's making fun of
Poppy?
pop music from the time.
Yeah.
Which, it's still a good song. Like, it slaps. That shit slaps, As the kids say.
As the kids say, that slaps. That seems like such an old thing to say, though, right? Like, I feel like if you said these in the 60s, it would be like... I feel like sometimes kids say things now. Kids, I feel old. Never mind. Slang. It's great. It doesn't matter if it's weird. Just you use your slang, kids. I don't know. It's your thing.
The scene that I didn't answer this. The scene that I find hardest to watch involves a song where he's in the dining table.
Oh, honey. What are you doing?
What?
What is that? What are you doing?
Well, it's Mike's part.
Don't do that.
It's Mike's part.
I know what it is. Don't do that.
And it's always hard to watch that scene. I'm always like, I can't I skip it.
Why?
'Cause it's just like cringe at it. It's just like he's just yelling for no reason.
Yeah, man, he's mentally unstable.
Yeah, and I like his friend threw himself off the George Washington Bridge, and John Goodman goes, George Washington Bridge. You throw yourself off the Brooklyn Bridge traditionally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Threw himself off the wrong bridge. Nothing even happens right in this guy's life, man.
Yeah. So like, so for a while, I thought those guys, the professor and his wife, were like the other guy's parents or something, right?
Why?
For just that brief second where she got really upset too, because I'm like, oh, it's probably because I don't know. I thought
It's his son. Or something.
yeah, and that's why she wanted to sing his part or something, right?
Yeah. Actually, nah.
No, I don't think they're not. But I kind of for a minute I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
they're like, it's like why else would they let this? Why would these like it's like Greek professor let this like homeless, penniless nobody just sleep in his couch, right? And I was like, I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
he just
How does he even know him?
I don't know, right? I'm just
Yeah.
like so for a while I was like, oh, it's probably because they're his parents or something. I was like, no, they're not. They're just some people, some professors he knows. I was like, I don't know how.
Yeah, and also his like manager sucks his ass as well, because he's not making any money.
Yeah.
That's funny though. He calls off his bluff when he's like, I don't even have a winter coat. Oh my god, he gets so cold. Like, you're just bluffing, Mel. A bluff, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was a bluff.
Yeah.
Let me give you $40, and then he still doesn't have a jacket though.
Yeah.
Poor bastard.
Yeah. Literally.
What's next?
Cinematography.
Cinematography.
It's very blue and muted
Yeah.
and cold.
Mark Kermode talked about that.
And
right?
that's exactly. I was like, yeah, this is just a sad movie. It's cold. And yeah.
Well, Mark Kermode talked about this, and I didn't know this, where it was taking the aesthetic of Bob Dylan's cover from one of his albums. I don't know that, but you know what? Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. It fits very well with the time. I think it's trying to give like some sort of like splidge of nostalgia. It also serves to like highlight all the people's like faces and skin colors, and it works like when the Justin Timberlake and Carey Mulligan and the other guy are singing 500 Miles, and then like the camera moves in. And she's just like glowing, and she looks like an angel.
Oh shoot! Yes, that was the other thing. Like, and I don't know if I noticed this afterwards, but like, the movie definitely looked like blurry.
Yeah.
Like and I was like, interesting. But then after a while, I don't know if I got used to it or it just was less of an effect. But initially, it seemed like almost like it was in a dream state.
Yeah.
Like that haziness or whatever.
Like a memory.
Yeah.
The way that they do that on the camera, they have some special lens for it. But the way like DIY filmmakers get that look is they get a stocking, they cut it, and then they tie it around the camera lens, and you get sort of like that haze. I forget what it's called. I don't know if it's like diffusing the light or like just spreading it out. But like yeah, definitely, yeah. So like I said, I picked this movie because of its distinct visuals.
Yeah.
And you said that they were very muted. What did you think about like all the camera angles and like the positionings and stuff like that?
Excuse me, hiccups.
Yeah.
Trying to think if I noticed anything.
Let's see. It's gonna be awesome because we're gonna capture when you start noticing stuff.
Sure. I don't think I noticed anything like
What did you think looked pretty?
looked pretty.
Yeah. Like what scene? What?
I don't know if anything looked. Wow.
You don't
beautiful.
know if anything you looked pretty.
I mean, they were honestly the color palette was very similar throughout, so nothing like stood out to me, and I was like, yeah, this was.
I'd hope the color palette is similar throughout, man.
Yeah, but it's like nothing like. No, there's no particular scene. I was like, wow, this was shot really well, or wow, I don't know.
What about lighting? Did you notice any lighting in this movie, Jazmin?
Like natural lighting?
Or any lighting?
No.
No,
I
you
don't
didn't notice
think
any
so.
lighting.
No.
So when they're in the dining room, did you notice how different that looked to like any other time?
Mm-mm.
No, and it's like super bright and no.
No, was it? What was
Yeah.
it?
What about when they're in the gaslight? How does the gaslight look like?
It's dimly lit.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of harsh shadows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about when he's that scene you mentioned that you don't like when he leaves the cat?
I don't remember.
Right? Like when he's
Dark.
like getting out of the car.
Yeah.
and then it's just, the cars are coming in through the driveway, and it lights up, but it's more like just a silhouette. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
Yeah.
That's purposeful.
Yeah, and it's,
Supposed to emote something.
yeah, or like just look nice,
Oh, I don't know if I was like, yeah, this looks nice.
I think it's a beautiful looking movie. Yeah.
I don't think I have a discerning eye for that yet. It's just, I definitely noticed like the overall color of the movie.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's a start. My mom didn't even notice that. My mom didn't know that music was in movies until a little while ago.
What? What do you mean?
Score? Scores?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she didn't know that. She's like, "What? I never even noticed that until I started like talking to her about it."
Interesting.
Yeah. So we'll get there with you, Jazmin. We'll get there with you. Actually,
I was like, okay, I have to pay attention to these sort of things. So I kind of paid attention to that, and then I didn't even think about
and then you dressed it out.
oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I was like, oof. Too many things to consider.
Roger Deakins usually works with the Coen brothers. He didn't work on them with this one, but he's their DP on True Grit and what's that? Burn After Reading, stuff like that. Roger Deakins, right?
No.
1917.
Oh, okay.
The cinematographer, yeah.
Oh, that old guy who was like, hey, we all do good jobs.
Yeah.
Something like that, he said.
Let's talk about editing. Joel and Ethan Coen always edit their own movies, which is rare. Very, very rare.
Interesting.
They do it on Final Cut.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so, they say they don't like handing it off to someone.
Valid.
Yeah. Did you notice anything with the editing?
No.
It looked like you were actually thinking of
I was
something.
trying to think of something. I was like, well, there were scenes.
There's one cut I really like that serves as comedy, which is...
Well, it's like very dramatic. I feel like there's a very dramatic cut, but I don't remember. I was trying to think of something like that, but I couldn't remember.
Well, it's in that when they're in the diner.
Oh, and then the lady's like, we're changing, need to pay or something? Or wait.
No. And
There's like two diners.
when he's on like with Carrie Mulligan, he's talking about the abortion stuff.
Yes.
And then he's all like, in my opinion, there's two different types of people in this world. People who split people into two different types of groups. And then she goes, assholes. And then it just cuts away to something else, Yeah. That's comedy right there. It's comedy editing.
Comedy editing like those YouTubers be doing.
Yeah, exactly. Except actually funny. YouTubers kind of suck, honestly.
For the most part, right?
Yeah, I'd say for like 90%.
The most popular ones, definitely.
I remember when I used to watch a shit ton of YouTube, and then
I watch so much YouTube
I never thought I would get to the point where you were watching way more YouTube than I was.
Yeah.
Kind of swore off YouTube like 3 years ago. When my phone broke, and I had to get a new one, but there was like a 2-week period that I didn't have any phone. I realized I was just watching a bunch of YouTube videos because, like, I was just programmed. Like, I'd wait. Yeah, like, I would just be. I wake up in the morning, and then a new video would be up from one of the channels I subscribed to. And then when I had no phone, I stopped watching them, and I never even like wanted to actually like go on YouTube on my computer and go see them.
I can't relate to that feeling.
By the way, this is like a really quick tangent. I worked at this place, and there was a 17-year-old girl who wanted to be an actor. And I told her, oh, so do you watch a lot of movies? Because I feel like that's, actors are always told, watch a lot of movies so you get to understand acting more. And she's like, no, I never have time. Which is weird because she's 17 and she was in high school at the time. She's like, I just watch YouTube videos. And I'm just like, what? Like, I feel like people who go, oh, I don't have time, I watch YouTube videos, go on and then they watch like 8 hours of YouTube videos instead of just like maybe watching a 2-hour movie
Yeah.
or an episode of a TV show that's an hour long. Just like I'd rather watch the TV show or the movie because I feel like it's more satisfying.
I feel like watching TV shows are more satisfying than watching movies, though.
Why?
I feel like you can become more emotionally invested in the characters than you can in a movie.
Yeah, and I spent when I was her age, I spent at the time of her age. She's probably like, she's probably like 19 now. Jesus Christ, Jazmin, what did you drop?
I dropped my phone. It's okay. It's already broken.
When I was her age, I was like on Reddit a lot, and that's even worse, I'd say. Like, I was just like 24/7 on Reddit, and then it got to the point where like watching an episode of a TV show, just one episode, it felt more like I did more than
Being on Reddit.
being on Reddit.
I posted something on Reddit, and I'm like, people on Reddit are dumb.
Why? Because it didn't like him.
Yeah. Because I'm disagreeing with it.
Yeah.
How dare they?
Well, anyways, yeah. Let's get editing.
Okay.
You'll find
moving
that out.
forward.
At some point. You'll find that out at some point. Just cuts, or even just like that scene again with the cat, where it cuts between the cat and Oscar Isaac, and then sort of lingers on him as he's like
and the cat
making
goes,
the decision. Yeah.
And then it's so sad.
So,
They close it right in his face.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Every Frame of Painting?
No.
He has a YouTube channel. He doesn't make YouTube videos anymore. He hasn't made YouTube videos in 4 years. Watch some of his videos. They're like 5 minutes long. I'm not gonna watch anything like Gito.
Yeah, unless you send me the link, then maybe, probably. Well, there's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah. There's also this guy named Thomas Flight who's rather new. Yeah. There's a lot of videos out there,
Yeah.
They could watch and learn more. Maybe I think you need to watch more movies first.
Cake.
And
I'm
then,
sorry, I just thought about there's some cake I want to eat later.
you're not even listening to me, Jazz. Okay, so what do you think needs to be worked on in this movie? I'm sure you have a lot of that.
No.
No?
Just because it wasn't for me doesn't mean it needs a lot of work.
So what would you rate this out of 10 or 5? Let's say 5, yeah.
2.
2 out of 5 doesn't need anything to work on. It wasn't for me. 2 out of 5.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just, it's very depressing. I just not in the mood for a depressing movie in this time of my life, and I did not enjoy watching
Man,
it.
I should have picked the Wolf of Wall Street.
I don't know if it's a movie you're supposed to enjoy watching.
No. Nah.
It's a very somber, depressing, pessimistic movie.
Should I have given you the Wolf of Wall Street instead?
I'm happy for at least entertaining.
It's pretty wild. Yeah, I gave you a list and you didn't choose, so I'm like, I might as well choose this one.
I mean, it's fine. I would not have watched this movie on my own.
Well, that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have watched The Wolf of Wall Street. I probably won't watch The Wolf of Wall Street on my own
Don't
ever
worry.
either.
After we're done with like the straightforward years, we're going to go back into a bunch of other stuff,
Sounds good.
Yeah. By the way, we're still doing mainstream movie. This is a mainstream movie. Whether you like it or not, people out there, this is a mainstream movie. It's made by established directors who have won Oscars and have made movies that have grossed, hundreds of millions of dollars. It's nominated for Oscars and Golden Globes. This is a mainstream movie. This isn't like an indie little gem,
It just feels like an indie gem. Is that what you're trying to say?
Basically, yeah, the style of it. Like I like sure, like out of like people who just like watch 4 movies every year in the theater, then this is like feels pretty like out of it. But this is still mainstream. I think you talk to a lot of people and they'd be like, yeah, it's still mainstream. And of course, the way we talk about these movies, maybe a bit derivative for some, but this is how beginners talk, Jazmin.
Yeah.
I just be grateful that you're older now and can like talk better than when I was 13 and talked like horrible.
I can't talk either.
Nah, trust me, you're doing much better. You're like, I thought it was good.
I thought
Or
it was
whatever.
bad.
Or
No
whatever.
like you from me.
Yeah, basically that's how I
Bad.
talked back then.
Thumbs down.
Yeah.
Caca.
Um. So, do you know what movie we're talking about next?
If I can pull out my phone, I will. No, which
Can you remember?
one? It's not Ladybird. I know that for sure.
That's pretty dumb.
It's not A Star Is Born either.
It's okay. So it's you're spoiling all the other movies.
Oh.
It's the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh shoot! Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you got a week to watch it. I'd like you to watch the movies earlier so you have more time to think about
To
them.
marinate.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's pretty hard to talk about a movie right after you watch it.
Isn't that the best time to watch a movie? I mean,
To
to
talk
watch
about
a
a
movie.
No, it's not. A lot of reviewers are like, oh, God,
They
I
watch
wish
it
I
like
had,
twice.
I wish I had more time to think about it before I write my review.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of reviewers do not watch the movies twice. I'm not one to rewatch a lot of movies. Like I usually just one and done. Like Grand Budapest Hotel, saw it once in 2014, and that was it. It was the last time I saw it. So
Sounds good.
yeah, yeah. I think that should be easier for you to understand cameras.
The Grand Budapest.
Yeah, like camera and framing, because it'd be like, oh shit, that's so obvious. Like in the way that it's being framed, because it's so exaggerated with its symmetry and placement of the actors and the set design and the editing. So maybe you'll start to notice it more. I wonder how long it'll take you. Because I was younger, I wonder how long it takes an older brain to start noticing that stuff. Holy shit, my mic just fell. Oh my god, my phone just fell. Okay, all right.
Tell me something. Sorry.
That's the perfect way to come back. Oh.
You have to cut all of that.
You're coughing, staying in. Yeah, so I wonder how long until you start noticing it.
I mean, I feel like yours was a more natural and gradual process. Like,
well,
you weren't necessarily looking for that, right?
No, but like I didn't know that was possible. At the same time, I had no one like guiding me, recommending movies. I just watched, like we used to watch 5 movies every week at least, because that's what we rented from Redbox, and it was $1 movie. Spend $5, you get 5 movies.
Yeah.
So at 13, 14, I was watching at least 5 movies every week. And it was more than that because I was like torrenting movies and watching on Netflix. It was just like, geez, I think I watched hundreds and hundreds of movies just in those 2 years.
That's intense.
Yeah. And not like none of them were like this. Really, like most of them were like
Avengers.
Yeah, and also like Adam Sandler movies or like
sounds about right.
Movies bros were like, oh man, this movie's awesome, like Dread and stuff like that. Sounds like a witch. There's a witch outside our door.
Hey, listen to this episode. And we're laughing like crazy people too.
Yeah. So I'm picking movies, mostly movies that are good and that I like. So I'm probably never gonna criticize them.
How dare you?
But at some point we'll probably choose a bad movie.
Can we criticize this one?
You already did.
It was too sad and slow.
That's what you've already said that multiple times.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say about this movie.
And
if you love that, you'd love it. But I was too sad and slow in my life.
Yeah.
I don't know
At some point we might watch a movie that's so like horrifically bad that everyone's sort of like
The Room.
Yeah, like Date Movie or
Velocipaster.
Or Meet the Spartans. Yeah, the
Death Note?
Velocipastors. No, not Death Note. I wouldn't want to watch that.
Me either.
I think that's like bad, but like boring bad,
No, not like intentionally bad.
No.
You wanna watch a Hallmark movie?
No. Let's keep it good for the most part.
You said bad.
Yeah, at
and
some
boring.
point. At some point. No, I said bad and not boring.
Oh, bad and not boring.
Yeah, like Date Movie or something, or like something that angers you,
Angers you.
Yeah. Anyways, that's in the future. That's in the future. Just the Grand Budapest Hotel is the only thing you have to watch right now.
Sounds good.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. It was a good one.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Au revoir.